ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्याद्य शंकरात् गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्त उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यमो सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिक संस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं विश्वशांति कल्याणार्थं भक्त साधकानां विघ्न निवारण शक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थं च छान्दोग्य उपनिषदः पारायणं तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणं। We have to do the 8th chapter 7th khanda parayanam of our Chandogya Upanishad today. 7th and 8th we will do them. ॐ अथ छान्दोग्य उपनिषत् शांति मंत्रः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणः चक्षुः श्रोत्रम् अथो बलम् इन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरते। ये उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तो ते मयि सन्तो। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ अष्टमोऽध्यायः सप्तमः खण्डः। ओम यः आत्मा अपहत पाप्मा विजरः विमृत्युः विशोकः विजिघत्सः अपिपासः सत्यकामः सत्यसङ्कल्पः सः अन्वेष्टव्यः स विजिज्ञासितव्यः स सर्वागंश्च लोकानाप्नोति सर्वागंश्च कामान्। यः तम् आत्मानम् अनुविद्य विजानाति ह प्रजापतिरुवाच। विजानाति इति ह प्रजापतिरुवाच। तदह उभये देवासुराः अनुबुबुधिरे तेह ऊचुः हन्त तम् आत्मानम् अन्विच्छामः। यम् आत्मानम् अन्विष्य सर्वागंश्च लोकानाप्नोति सर्वागंश्च कामान् इति। इन्द्रो हैव देवानाम् अभिप्रवव्राज विरोचनः असुराणां तौ हासंविदानौ एव समित्पाणि प्रजापतिसकाशमाजग्मतुः तौ द्वात्रिकं शतं वर्षाणि ब्रह्मचर्यम् ऊषतुः। तौ प्रजापतिरुवाच किमिच्छन्तौ आस्तम् इति। तौ होचुतुः य आत्मा अपहत पाप्मा विजरो विमृत्युः विशोकः विजिगत्सः अपिपासः सत्यकामः सत्यसङ्कल्पः सोऽन्वेष्टव्यः स विजिज्ञासितव्यः स सर्वागंश्च लोकानाप्नोति सर्वागंश्च कामान्। यः तमात्मानम् अनुविद्य विजानाति इति भगवतः वचः वेदयन्ते तमिच्छन्तौ आवाह आस्तामिति तौ प्रजापतिरुवाच एषः अक्षिणी पुरुषः दृश्यते एषः आत्मा इति ह उवाच। एतदमृतम् अभयम् एतद्ब्रह्म इति अथः यो अयं भगवः अप्सु परिख्यायते यः च अयम् आदर्शे कथम एष इति एषः एव एषु सर्वेषु अन्तेषु परिख्यायते इति होवाच। अथ अष्टमः खण्डः। उदशराव आत्मानमवेक्ष्य यदात्मनः न विजानीथ तन्मे प्रब्रूतम् इति।
तौह उदशरावे अवेक्षाञ्चक्राते तौह प्रजापतिरुवाच किं पश्यथ इति तौह ऊचतुः सर्वमेव इदम् आवां भगवः आत्मानं पश्याव आलोमभ्यः आनखेभ्यः प्रतिरूपम् इति तौह प्रजापतिरुवाच साधु अलङ्कृतौ सुवसनौ परिष्कृतौ भूत्वा उदशरावे अवेक्षयथाम् इति तौह साधु अलङ्कृतौ सुवसनौ परिष्कृतौ भूत्वा उदशरावे अपेक्षाञ्चक्राते तौह प्रजापतिरुवाच किं पश्यत इते तौः चतुर् यथा एव इदम् आवां भगवः साधु अलङ्कृतौ सुवसनौ परिष्कृतौ स्व एवम् एव इमौ भगवः साधु अलङ्कृतौ सुवसनौ परिष्कृतौ इति एषः आत्मा इति उवाच एतदमृतम् अभयम् एतद्ब्रह्म इति तौह शान्तहृदयौ प्रव्रजतुः तौह अन्वीक्ष्य प्रजापतिरुवाच अनुपलभ्य आत्मानम् अननुविद्य व्रजतः यतरः एतदुपनिषदः भविष्यन्ति देवा वा असुरा वा ते परा भविष्यन्तीति सः शान्तहृदयः एव विरोचनः असुरान् जगाम तेभ्यो ह एताम् उपनिषदं प्रोवाच आत्मा एव इह मह्य आत्मा परिचर्य आत्मानमेव इह महयन् आत्मानं परिचरन् उभौ लोकौ आप्नोति इमं च अमुं च इति तस्माद् अपि अद्य इह आदानम् अश्रद्धदानम् अयजमानम् आहुः असुरः पत इति असुराणागां हि एष उपनिषत् प्रेतस्य शरीरं भिक्षया वसनेन अलङ्कारेण इति संस्कुर्वन्ति एतेन हि अमुं लोकं जेष्यन्तः मन्यन्ते अथ नवमः खण्डः अतः इन्द्रः अप्राप्य एव देवान् एतद्भयं ददर्श यथा एव खलु अयम् अस्मिन् शरीरे साधु अलङ्कृतो भवति सुवसने सुवसनः परिष्कृते परिष्कृतः एवमेव अयम् अस्मिन् अन्धे अन्धः भवति श्रामे श्रामः परिवृक्णे परिवृक्णः अस्य एव शरीरस्य नाशम् अन्वेषः नश्यति न अहम् अत्र भोग्यं पश्यामि इति ससमित्पाणिः पुनरेयाय तगम्ह प्रजापति उवाच भगवन् यच्च अन्तः हृदयः प्राव्राजीः सार्धं विरोचनेन भगवान् यत् शान्तहृदयः प्राव्राजीः सार्धं विरोचनेन किमिच्छन् पुनरागमः इति सहोवाच यथा एव खलु अयं भगवः अस्मिन् शरीरे साधु अलङ्कृतो भवते सुवसने सुवसनः परिष्कृते परिष्कृतः एवम् एव अयम् अस्मिन् अन्धे अन्धः भवति श्रामे श्रामः परिवृक्णे परिवृक्णः अस्य एव शरीरस्य नाशमन्वेषः नश्यति न अहम् अत्र भोग्यं पश्यामि इति एवमेव एषः भगवन् इति उवाच एतं तु एव ते भूयः अनुव्याख्यास्यामि वस अपराणि द्वात्रिंशतं वर्षाणि इति सः अपराणि द्वात्रिंशतं वर्षाणि उवास तस्मै सोवाहोवाच दशमखण्डः यः एषः स्वप्ने महीयमानः चरति एषः आत्मा इति उवाच एतद् अमृतम् अभयम् एतद् ब्रह्म इति सः शान्तहृदयः प्रबभ्राज सः अप्राप्य एव देवान् एतद्भयं ददर्श तद्यद्यपि इदगं शरीरम् अन्धं भवति अन्धः स भवति यदि श्रामम् अश्रामः नैव एषः अस्य दोषेण दुष्यति न वधेनास्य हन्यते न अस्य श्रामेण श्रामो घ्नन्ति तु एव एनं विच्छादयन्ति इव अप्रियवेत्तेव भवति अपि रोदिति इव न अहमत्र भोग्यं पश्यामि इति समित्पाणि पुनरेयाय तगम्ह प्रजापतिरुवाच भगवन् यत् शान्तहृदयः प्राव्राजैः किमिच्छन् पुनरागमः इति सहोवाच तद्यद्यपि इदं भगवः शरीरम् अन्धं भवति अन्धः स भवति यदि श्राममश्रामो नैव एषः अस्य दोषेण दुष्यति न वधेनास्य हन्यते न अस्य श्राम्येण श्रामो घ्नन्ति तु एव एनं विच्छादयन्ति इव अप्रियवेत्तेव भवति अपि रोदितीव न अहमत्र भोग्यं पश्यामीति एवमेव एष भगवन् इति उवाच एतं तु एव ते भूयः अनुव्याख्यास्यामि वस अपराणि द्वात्रिकं शतं वर्षाणि इति सः अपराणि द्वात्रिकं शतं वर्षाणि उवास तस्मै होवाच ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय शाखान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरेयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनाम्हे व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेद तद्वक्तारमावेद आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ द्वितीया भृगुवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Friends, salutations to the Lord, to the entire Rishimuni Guru Devata Parampara, to our Brahma Vidya Acharyas of Vedavyasa Vaishampayana Yajnavalkya Adya Shankara. Salutations to the Parabrahma Tattva Shruti Mata and also to our Gurus. After finishing the Prathama Shiksha Valli, before we start the Dvitiya Brahmananda Valli, what was the summary of Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankara's Sambandha Bhashya was, as a Jiva with our various upadhis, when we do the upasana, we can reach up to the Hiranyagarbha level, wherein we become Sarvabhauma and we get the Swarajya Prapti. Yet, the samsara bija, the avidya is not removed. That is why, even though compared to the frustrated level of jiva lost in the upadhis with small little desires for the world, compared to this, that is a great, grand, glorious state of being wherein we are able to command all the phenomenal natural forces of Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni. Yet there is still the Ajnana Bija for Sarva Upadrava. Therefore, still there is no final reaching. We are still bound there. All that is Sopadika Atma. Difference is, at the Jiva level, the Upadhi was individual Panchakoshas. At the Sarvabhauma Hiranyagarbha level, the Upadhis are the Samashti. Whether Upadhi are big or small, in both cases one is bound. Therefore, the goal is what? The Nirupadika Atma Tattva we have to experience. Therefore, to teach us the Vidya by which the avidya, which is the bija for the samsara, is removed. Avidya or the ajnana, which is the bija for the samsara, removed, and also ashesha vidhuta sarva upadhi vishesha atma darshanartham. Vidhuta sarva upadhi vishesha atma darshana. Vidhuta vashnave. Sarva upadhi all upadhis. So sarva upadhi vishesha. No specific upadhi anymore is there. All the upadhis are removed. Therefore, that is called as nirupadhika atma darshanartham idam arabhyate. And also upar atah ashesha upadrava bijasya ajnanasya nivrutyartham. So the ajnana of the atma vastu, because of which became the bija so far for us, for all the upadrava. If these two things click in our life, we are really entering into deep Vedanta. What is that? We are going through all upadrava as a jiva also, from one body to the other, even up to level of the Hiranyagarbha. For all these upadravas of limitations, upadrava of the struggles, upadrava of the, the sukha dukkha prapti, upadrava of the fears, frustrations, all of that are caused only by one cause or reason or bijam, that is ajnana or avidya. And always ajnana avidya is about the vidyamana vastu. And the vidyamana vastu is Paramatma. So our identity with the Paramatma, when it is not known, called as avidya or ajnana, which is a bija for sarva upadrava. What more important we have to understand in this regard is, as long as this ajnana or avidya remains, so long through the upadhi working in the world, whether the upadhi are vyastya or samashti, we will continue to be in the upadrava only. Therefore, only by removing the ajnana, which is the bija for upadrava, that all the upadravas can be eliminated. And the ajnana nivrutti cannot happen without the jnana. So Atma or Brahma ajnana was the cause of sakala upadrava. Therefore, Atma or Brahma jnana is the one which removes the avidya or ajnana, then only all the upadravas go away. Not only this Atma jnana or Brahma jnana removes the ajnana and eliminates all the upadrava one side, the other side. What this Atma jnana or Vidyamana, Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya gives us is the experience, the direct experience of the Vidyamana eternally existing Atma Vastu or Brahma Vastu, which is Vidhuta Ashesha Upadhi Vishesha. Vidhuta Sarva Upadhi Vishesha. That Atma which is free from all the Upadhis, which is unconditioned by any of the limitations. So, Nirupadhika Atma Anubhuti. So, the Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya's twofold purposes are, one side, by removing the avidya, it removes all the upadravas. Second side, it reveals to us the Nirupadhika Atma Tattvam. And that Nirupadhika Atma Tattvam, because there are no upadhis to bind it, condition it, limit it, it is unbound, unconditional, limitless. Add more, boundless, birthless, changeless, modificationless, imperishable, deathless. Is that our own self? The anubhuti of that comes. It is always there. But now we are not having the anubhava of that because we are with the ajnana or in this world of upadhis as a jiva going through all the upadrava. Therefore, what is the subject that is taught? The Brahma Vidya. What is the prayojanam? The Atyantika Samsara Upadrava Nirmulanam, and also Nirupadhika Atma Anubhavam is equal to Moksha or Kaivalyam. Because Muktihi Hitva Anyatha Rupam Sarupena Vyavastitihi. Ahankaradi Dehantan Bandhan Ajnana kalvitan swaswarupa avabodhena mukti. That is called as swaswarupa avabodha is the moksha. Why? Because that swarupa of Paramatma fulfills all the conditions to reach out which earlier we were struggling with the upadhis. The conditions just now we said the janmadi shadbhava vikara rahityam. Therefore, anantam, therefore unconditional, therefore ananda swarupam, eternally existing. These are all the demands of every heart. All of them are found fulfilled in the Atmanubhuti. Therefore, Atmanubhuti gives moksha from the Ajnana, moksha from the Ajnana avidya janita kamana. It gives moksha from kamana prerita karma. It gives moksha from the karma phala which forces us to so many shariras, birth and death. All that is removed by this Brahma or Atma Prapti. We have to be very clear in this and see, is our mind intellect deeply understanding it along with its glory? If that is so, then in us the strong conviction to discover, rediscover this Atma Anubhuti through Adhyatmika sadhana should grow. When that strong conviction grows, other than doing this sadhana to discover this Brahma Anubhava, we don't involve in anything. If at all we are involving in anything, even little, means we are still in not the clarity of the Atma Vidya as well as its glory. Shubhecha will never come to us unless we clearly, convincingly understand that through the Brahma Vidya, the Brahma whose Anubhuti we get is so far superior, greater than any of the Sukhanubhuti we get through the karma as the karma phala of this world or any world. सो कर्मों के द्वारा इस फल इस जगत में मिलने वाले और जगत में मिलने वाले जो भी सुख शांति है वो आत्म अनुभव में मिलने वाले सुख शांति से कंपेयर करें तो बहुत कम है, छोटा है. ये ज्ञान जब तक नहीं होगा, आत्म अनुभव पाना है साधना के द्वारा, दिस शुभ इच्छा विल नॉट कम. विदाउट द डीप शुभ इच्छा all our spiritual pursuit will be very superficial, without proper conviction or commitment, because Shubhecha is not born. So, through all the Shastra Adhenam, what teacher tries to give to the disciples or the students is glory of Atmanubhuti, Brahmanubhuti compared to everything else, so that in him the mumuksha or the jignasa for the Atma or Brahma is generated. That's called Shubhecha. And then, in the heat of that strong sankalpa or the desire to discover the self, this person gives up everything effortlessly. And to discover the Atmanubhuti, whatever the efforts of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana have to be done, he will do them without any hesitation. So, this is how in the Sambandha Bhashya, again and again reflecting on that, the main crucial crux we have to understand. And in that, the connection between the earlier Valli and this Valli. In the earlier Valli, whatever the Upasana is said, if that is not done, and through that, if you don't reach up to the Hiranyagarbha level, then all our desires are not fulfilled. Therefore, the limitation of the desires and desire-oriented life is not understood. Then we will not have a vairagya, and we will not ask a question: is there any nirupadika atma anubhuti which will give the moksha? Those questions can't come. Therefore, the validity of the upasana of this Prathama Valli. Before the upasana Prathama Valli, we were doing our own swadharma karma in the world. Before that, we were depending on others, even maybe were in adharma ityadi. So अधर्म से हम अपने पाँव पे खड़े होना, from that we came to the swadharma, from there now into the upasana. But upasana ka final result of Brahma Hiranyagarbha sthiti also, because it is not ultimate, because even at that level The Ajnana, which is the bija of the all Upadrava, still remains. To remove the Upadrava along with the root called as Ajnana, inevitably the Jnana is required, the Brahma Jnana is required, Tattva Jnana is required. That is why the second Valli. The second Valli's theme is Brahma Jnanam, and the result is Sarva Upadrava Bija Rupa Avidya Nirmulanam. Same time Sopadika Atma Tattva se Nirupadika Atma Anubhav mein ana, which is infinite, which is blissful. And with this conclusion that सोपाधिक से निरुपाधिक आत्मा को हम डिस्कवर करना है, the Shruti starts. Therefore, the Bhashyakara's genius of concluding the Sambandha Bhashya in such a way that becomes the launch pad for the Mula Mantra of this Prathama Anuvaka of the second Valli. See, Nirupadika Atma is called as Brahma. The one who discovers Brahma, he discovers the Supreme, after which or beyond which there is nothing. Therefore, Nirupadika Atma alone is Parabrahma. Parabrahma Jnana alone is taught here. The one who gains the Brahma Vidya, he achieves the ultimate. Brahma Vidya Apnoti Param. That's how the connection between the earlier Valli and Sambandha Bhashya and the conclusion of Sambandha Bhashya, its connection with the Prathama Mantra of the Prathama Anuvaka. Means how genius one has to be, Bhagavan Adi Shankara, that in such a beautiful manner, he gives that connection and he gives that Bhashyam, it shows us the purpose. So we have to accept from this only that he is a Bhagavan's avatar only, came to explain the Upanishad in easy terms for you and I, who have gone far away from the Vedic period into the world of Bhautikavada, in which Manabuddhi are so thick, very, very, very thick or diluted, that we can't understand straight away the Upanishad mantras. That is why he came to give us the clarity. Bhagavan only came in that form. Same Bhagavan only again comes to us in the form of our own gurus and acharyas, even explain us the bhashyas, everything, etc. Always you have to see Bhagavan only in everyone. That's what we were studying in Bhagavatam yesterday. Toward the end, Sri Krishna Upadesh to wahi hai. And ultimate goal is what? To discover Sarvavyapaka Brahma. Then, when that is the ultimate goal, and when that is going to help us in our sadhana, why not we begin it right from beginning? What? Seeing Bhagavan only in all the gurus, in all our acharyas, in our own interest, for out of our own shraddha. For the guru or acharya, it is not a practice with shraddha, it is a direct experience to him, because in the experience of the self, therefore everything is self to him. Every disciple is Atma only for him. For the guru, for the disciple, he'll have to practice. Okay, now we are starting the Prathama Anuvaka of the Dvitiya Valli Brahmananda. And as we are discussing, Bhagwan's Bhashya for this Prathama Anuvaka is so beautiful, so sublime, so complete, so essential, deep. And we have to be attentive like that with full interest, Shraddha, to study, to understand. This is how a Vedanti in the Vedanta Marga, through Shravana from the Guru of the Tattva and Bhashya, makes his understanding authentic, subtler, deeper, true about the truth. Through the Shravana and Manana, we get the Bauddhika Jnana Nishchaya. Then through Nididhyasana, we convert that convinced intellectual knowledge into the direct personal experience. So let us enjoy chanting this mantra. Om Atha Krishna Yajurvedantargata Taittiriya Upanishad Titiya Brahmananda Valli Om Atha Prathamonuvakaha Om Brahmavidapnoti Param Tadeshabhyukta Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma Yo Vedanihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschitete तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाश सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायुः वायोस्तेजः तेजस आपः अद्भ्यः पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधेभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोऽन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणपक्षः अयमुत्तरपक्षः अयमात्मा इदं पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति. So the straight meaning is what? Brahmavid apnoti param. The knower of Brahman obtains the supreme. We have to study this exhaustively with the help of the Bhashya. Tad esha abhyukta. To substantiate that Brahmavid obtains the param, the Rigveda mantra is quoted by the Rishi, again the Shruti Mata only. Shruti Mata only in the Yajurveda, this is Yajurveda mantra. This Upanishad is in Yajurveda. The Shruti Mata only to substantiate what she is saying here. Brahmavidapnoti param quotes the mantra from Rigveda. So though this mantra is in Yajurveda now, but actually it is from Rigveda. What is that? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This is what is the Rigveda mantra quoted here in the Yajurveda mantra. Brahmavida apnoti param tadeshabhyukta satyam jnanam anantam brahma. Then he is to be discovered. Where is he found? उपलब्धि स्थान क्या है? यो वेद निहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन्. He is secretly hidden in the guha space of the hridayakasha, which was said. There we found the sopadika atma in the hridaya. In the upasana kanda, in the panchama anuvaka, in the shiksha valli. Saya eshontar hridaya akashaha tasmin ayam purushaha, but manomaya. Now the Amrto Hiranyamaya Purusha has to be discovered. For that only the Dvitiya Valli. And once one discovers that Paramatma in the heart, Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman, Saha Brahmana Vipashita iti. Being one with the Brahma, he will be in that place which is much more than the fulfillment of all desires of all beings of all periods with all the upadhis at all places. Same thing we just now were studying in Chandogya Upanishad also, wherein the Virochana and Indra go to Prajapati. For knowing that thing, having known which, every desire is fulfilled, every happiness is gained. So he shows the mirror and the water and says that is the Atma. After 32 years of tapasya, brahmacharya, Virochana takes that deha which is reflected alone is Atma, he gives that only. That's how the Virochana clan of Asuras, for them, the deha alone Paramatma. Therefore, deha ko bhog dena, deha ko alankar karna, deha ke roop mein jeena is their deha philosophy. It's very symbolic. We'll study Chandogya also, very beautiful. But Indra was doubtful. How come it is? It is only Drishya, not Drashta, anything. So then he goes, then 32 years. Then another he tells, again 33 years. 3 times 32 years and once more. After 96, again some 10 or 12 years he tells to be there. After that, he gives the Brahma Vidya, of which we'll make a chanting tomorrow. So here also, when we discover that self, I'm just telling the literal meaning of this mantra, after which we'll be exhaustively studying the Bhashya. The Bhashyakara's Bhashya, when we do the Adhyanam of it, our intellect becomes so sharp, so deep, so subtle, so pervasive to be able to find that ability of contemplation. Through this deep contemplation, only the layers of ignorance, the layers of delusion, the layers of confusion, etc., are destroyed or removed. That's how they give the example of the arrival of sun in the morning. during the winter seasons where everywhere there is a mist and fog. As the sun starts rising, so the mist and fog gets dissolved or settled. So too, when through the high level of deep contemplation, when the understanding about Paramatma is happening more and more, to that extent, the mist of the ignorance, mist of delusion slowly gets dissolved. This is how the Vedanta Marga, through the Vicharana, the Tattva or Atma or Brahma, Jnana is gained, in which all Ajnana is burnt. Then the Jnana of the Paramatma is experienced through the contemplation of Nididhyasanam, where through the Vyatireka and Anvaya Paddhati, we experience the self there. To that, the biggest obstacles are the vrittis. Therefore, the yoga sadhana helps us in removing the vritti. Even to come to that level, we have to be blessed by the God. Therefore, you have to do the upasana. But who can come to the upasana? Who has fulfilled all his dharmas. And who can do the dharma? Who understands that all his dukkha, papa are dukkha, anartha are because of the adharma or the papa. Therefore, he gives up the adharma and papa. That's why every day we are saying, from after giving up adharma and papa, then living the life of dharma for few lives, thereafter living life of upasana for few lives, then living life of the yoga for few lives, then we become fit qualified for the Vedantic subtlety vicharana in the process. But when we are getting this chance to study, we will Siddhanta Rupena study about Brahma Vidya. But the Anubhuti of Brahma for moksha will happen only when we process the sadhana. Sadhana process is same thing continued. We follow the process of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. After that only Jnana Yoga के द्वारा मोक्ष मिलता है. For some people who have done all these sadhanas in the earlier lives only, in this life straight away Vedanta. This we exhaustively studied in the Prathama Valli before the 11th, 12th Anuvaka. After the 11th Anuvaka, when the Nanu asked so many questions to Guru Maharaj, Guru gave, while giving the answers, all these things were explained there. You know, the brahmacharya, grasta, vanaprastha, sannyasa, ashrama, then the karma, the benefits of the karma, the limitation of the karma. While saying so, he said, those who have finished all their sadhanas earlier life, in this very life only, without entering to grasta ashrama, from the brahmacharya only he can discover the self, or bypassing the grasta ashrama, straight away he can enter into vanaprastha or sannyasa and pursue the Brahma Vidya and discover. That all we discussed. Exhaustively we discussed. We spent very sufficient amount of time. So all these questions, if they are asked, come, answers are already given. We just have to refer to. Questions for what? Those who are fully qualified, straight away Brahma Vidya. Those who are not qualified, theoretically they can listen Brahma Vidya, but the sadhana and anumati will come only when they are again fit. Fitness is gained again inevitably for everyone through those sadhanas only. So therefore, ultimate goal is through Brahma Vidya given by the Jnana Marga. But to qualify for it, settle or manage the outer life, invoke the grace of divine, and manage the inner life of Vritti, we need to go through Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. There should be no ambiguity at all. If you are very qualified at the highest level of Vedantic inquiry, then you need not do all these three. Always that option is there, but it is only for very rare exceptions. We are not exceptional. We know what is our mind. We know how much is our ego. We know how much we are lazy. So the laziness is removed by karma yoga. Our disturbed mind is controlled by the chitta vritti nirodha, and the ego is covered by the devotion. Is it not? हमको तो पता होना है कि हम किस लेवल पे हैं. देयरफॉर कौन से साधना हमारे लिए लागू है. बट द अल्टीमेट इज थ्रू ब्रह्म विचार, द ब्रह्म ज्ञान, थ्रू द ध्यान, द ब्रह्मानुभूति. द ब्रह्मन अलोन इज एक्सपीरियंसेस मी द आत्मा. दैट्स कॉल्ड ब्रह्म आत्मा एक का बोध, मीन्स अनुभूति. हो गया. नाउ वंडरफुल भाष्य भाष्यकार फॉर दिस. Now we have seen up to what? Brahmavidapnoti param, the knower of Brahman attains this absolute. And to explain this, there's quotation from the Rigveda which gives the lakshana for the Brahma Tattva. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This is the means for our meditation. Then where to find this Brahma, having obtained which one gets the Paramar Suprema? Yo Veda Nitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman, who is very much in the cave of your own heart in that space. When you discover him, what is the result? Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. All kamanas at one go, he will experience them. Means the Sukha Ananda obtained through every kamana. If one this thing we get clear, no, we want Sukha, not the Vastu and Vyakti, then all our delusion of wanting the Vastu and Vyakti, that goes away. Our attachment for all the stupid things and beings go away. What a great relief if we can achieve that. Secondly, then only we can understand where is the Sukha available. Then it is in your own Atma. Then only we become the pursuer of the Atma Jnana. As long as you don't understand that we are the desirers of the Sukha, not the Vastu or Vyakti, so long we forget that we are wanting Sukha, we run behind things and beings. Things and beings are giving only dukkha to us, and we are attached to them so much, not able to live. Therefore, our all minds, vrittis are always kshipta and muda vikshipta. We are not able to, with single pointedness, pursue the spiritual sadhana. तेरा हम सबको सुख शांत आनंद चैन चाहिए, वो हमको परमात्मा में ही मिलता है, नॉट इन द वस्तु एंड व्यक्ति. बट द होल वर्ल्ड इज रनिंग बिहाइंड देम. देर आर ऑल फूल्स. Just because there are 1,000 fools decide one thing doesn't mean that it is true. Like 2 lakh fools together said that the sun rises in the west. हो जाता है क्या? If they say that the fire is cold, हो जाता है क्या? It's not a question of majority. The truth is not decided on the strength of majority or minority. Truth is always on its own. So the truth is what? All of them are pursuing the Sukha through Vastu Vyakti. Vastu Vyakti can never be the Sukha source. Therefore, every Vastu, every Vyakti is only cheating us and giving us Dukkha. They are not cheating, we are getting cheated. So if this one thing is discovered, that I want the bliss and the bliss is already in the Atma, that I have to discover. When this becomes very clear, undoubted, then our Vairagya for the world becomes effortless, painless, choiceful. Is it not? If not, it becomes a Zabardasti. Then that will be a temporary Vairagya. Then whenever the temptations come, we run. But when you know that I need Anandam and Anandam is Atma Lakshanam, then I pursue only Atma Anubhuti, not the things and beings. Then we are already Mukta from the worldly bondage. Along with the Mukti from Dukkha, we have to also have the Bhukti or Bhoga or of the Ananda. Ananda comes when we actually discover the self. That is why saha ashnute sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipaschita iti. How he enjoys that? Because the Brahma, whose nature is Chaitanya and Ananda, is of the bliss. I discovered my identity with that. Therefore, the Ananda there is equivalent to or perhaps much more than all the Sukha gained through all the any type of the indulgences anywhere by any jiva with any upadhi. So Shnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipashtiti. Then how come the whole world has come? Tasmadva etasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha. In the ignorance of the self only, from the Maya, the Akasha came. From Akasha, Vayu. From there, Agni. From there, water. From there, Prithvi. From Prithvi, Oshadeha. From the Oshadi, Annam. From the Anna, the Jivas are created. Therefore, the Anna ka explanation होता है. तस्मात् then अन्नात् पुरुषः सवा एष पुरुषो अन्नरसमयः. Therefore, this Purusha is Annarasamaya. Then for him, the Uttara Bhaksha, Dakshina Bhaksha, Pucham, everything the Atma only. That's how it is subtly. We are given again contemplation, meditation to rise above the Upadhi to discover the Paramatma. We will see through the Bhashyam. Now let us begin Bhagavan Adi Shankara's blessings and guidance. While understanding his Bhashya, for these mantras. So yesterday we started Brahmavid Apnoti Param. इसका हमने थोड़ा सा स्टडी किया. What was the study we did about the two paragraphs? We did almost. We have not started the commentary of Brahma, Brahmavit, Brahmavidapnoti Param. But before that, only in two paragraphs, very crucial things Bhagavan tried to explain to us. We try to listen. What is that? Prayojanam cha asyaha Brahmavidyayaha avidya nivrittihi. There is no doubt in this. The prayojana of the Brahmavidya is avidya nivritti. When the avidya goes away, what happens? Tatahacha, tata means from the nivrutti of the avidya, atyantika samsara abhavaha. Total abhava or absence of the samsara, of the struggle in this world with limited upadhis to eke out sukha through karma and karma phala. That entire samsara ka abhav hota hai. Vakshati cha. We are not saying it out of our head. It is said in the very Upanishad. What did he say? Ki vidwan nabhiveti kutaschana. It will be said in the ninth mantra. Ki the vidwan means the Brahma vidwan, Tattva vidwan, nabhiveti kutaschana. He will not have any fear. Now these are all the sentences said by Bhagavan Shankara, appearing to be non-connected, but the beautiful connection between them and connection of all of them to the purpose, if we can understand, it shows we have become intelligent. We have become very subtle in our contemplation. So what we are doing? Brahma Vidya. What Brahma Vidya does? Removes the avidya. What the avidya removal does are results in atyantika samsara abhavaha. How do you say, sir? It is quoted. How? Vidwan nabhiveti kutaschana. A knower of Brahman is no more fear. Therefore, knower of Brahman has no fear. The one who knows Brahman, his samsara goes away. Therefore, what is samsara is equivalent to fear only. So that is the way how to understand. That's how we in our samsara, always we are in a fear of not getting what we want and fear with the thing which we don't want. All the time we are in fear. Now, point is what? As long as there is samsara, how can the fear go away? If the fear doesn't go away, how the Shruti Mata says, Na viveti kutaschana? Therefore, when Shruti Mata says, here fear goes away, fear will go away only when the samsara goes away. Therefore, definitely samsara goes away. Fear goes away. How? By avidya nivritti. How? Through the Brahma Vidya. So, from here to there, I am suffering in fear. That is called as samsara. That is generated because of the avidya. So, how I want to live my life fearlessly? Abhibheti kutaschana. How the fearlessness go away? When the samsara goes away. How it goes away? When the avidya goes away. How the avidya will go away? When the Brahma Vidya is gained. Therefore, Shruti Mata is giving us Brahma Vidya. Then how we have to take deeply into our heart? I have to gain the Brahma Vidya by which the avidya of the Atma goes away. Then the unnecessary struggles, efforts called as samsara goes away. Then in samsara, through all efforts, there is nothing but the fear, dukkha born out of fear only, all the time. And what are the type of fear we explained yesterday? The fear of death, the fear of deception, fear of our misery, etc. etc. All other fears. And wherever there is Dvaita, there is fear from one to the other. In general, this we have to keep. Ditya Dvai Bhayam Bhavati. So, how see he is connecting and explaining to us? Brahma Vidya removes avidya, avidya removes samsara. When samsara is gone, there is no fear. Then you are fearlessly a free bird. What is that? Samsara nimitte cha sati. If the nimitta of the samsara called as avidya still remains, avayam pratishtam vindate iti anupapannam. What is said by Shruti Mata in this very Upanishad? That he will enjoy the establishment in fearlessness. Abhaya pratishtam vindate. Abhayam pratishtam vindate. The fearless establishment in the fearlessness. Vindate means prapnoti or experiences. This statement would have been invalid if the samsara bija called as avidya still remains. Bija or nimitta. तो संसार निमित्त अविद्या जब तक है तब तक भय रहता है. संसार निमित्त अविद्या जब चला जाता है तभी अभय प्रतिष्ठा होता है. Therefore, definitely the avidya removal will happen through the vidya which is taught in this Upanishad. So this is how. Then what is said? Iti anuvapannam kruta krute punya pape na tapatha iti cha. So very interesting. What is the meaning is kruta krute punya pape na tapatha is interesting point. That even through him any papa happens, it won't trouble him. Tapataha. So too, even though him any punya is done, that also won't show any of its effect of the sukha to him. Because punya papa done leads to sukha dukkha. The punya papa are done by an individuality with the upadhi. When the nirupadhika Brahma is discovered, there is no karta bhokta, therefore there is no punya papa, therefore there is no punya papa tapa. So, for onlooker, it appears that Mahatma is doing punya and papa. They will definitely have sukha dukkha. But in that Mahatma, he is not doing. He is prakrute kriyamanani gunai karmana sarvashaha. He is in the self, in his presence. The prakriti is doing this or that. He has no association with that. Therefore, those karmas of punya papa never give the phala of sukha dukkha to him. He is free. There's a quotation given here. Same thing is called asampragnata samadhi in the yoga bhasha. Then after says ataha avagamyate. Therefore, what is the conclusion of what I said so far? Ki asmat vijnanat. With the personal experience of this knowledge. Which ones are? Sarvatma Brahma Vishayat. See, dekho, by using this word, what is the theme of this Upanishad is explained, and this is the theme of all the Upanishads is explained. This is the theme of Vedanta that is explained. This is the final thing reached through Vedanta. Vicharana is explained. Finally, this is what is the one when experienced, the liberation is experienced. What is that? Sarva Atma Brahma. Sarva means all Rupanama. Sarva Atma is the self of all Sarva Rupanama. Which is what? That is Brahma only. Uska Vijnana Pane se. Vijnana is direct personal experience, which is called as Aparoksha Anubhuti. Guru gives the Jnanam. Through the contemplation, we make that Jnanam Nishchaya Purvakam in us. Then through the meditation, that Nishchaya Purvaka Jnanam, we make Vijnanam, called as Anubhuti. So, Asmat Vijnanat. He wanted to say actually, Asmat Vijnanat Atyantika Samsara Abhavaha. But Asmat Kasmat bolna chahiye na? Brahma Vijnanat. What is Brahma? Atma. Atma of what? Sarva. So, Sarva ke Atma Rupi Brahma ke Vijnana se Asmat Vijnanat. Kasmat Sarvatma Brahma Vijnanat. Sarvatma Brahma Vishayat Asmat Vijnanat. सर्व का आत्मरूपी ब्रह्म के अपरोक्ष अनुभव के द्वारा what happens? Atyantika samsara abhavaha. All the struggles of samsara end. Without this, whichever the world we go, with our punya or papa, we are still in the struggle of samsara. Even you go to become Hiranyagarbha, still we are in samsara. Only in the Sarvatma Brahma Aparoksha Anubhuti. I am that Brahman who is a substratum of everything. Only in the experience of this, the samsara ends. Now, with our 2-3 years of regular study of Upanishads, if this main thing is not understood, we were not attentive in our so many years of listening. At least now, we have to be more attentive to get convinced about this point, which alone again the springboard for our deeper study and meditation and spiritual sadhana. We have to take off from the springboard for sadhana. This is the springboard. But is not only through Sarvatma Brahma Vijnana, the samsara ends. Therefore, if the Sarvatma Brahma Vijnana is not gained in that Ajnana Dasha, we may be in whichever the world with whatever the upadhi, we are in samsara. Therefore, through various punya karma, papa karma, instead of going to various lokas, which are again bound by the samsara, here only, now only, if we can try and gain the Sarvatma Brahma Vijnana, we need not go anywhere to continue suffering. Go somewhere and suffer. Is that intelligence? Or here only get freed from all suffering, which is intelligence? है कि नहीं? वहां जा रहा हूं मैं, क्यों जा रहे हो? जूते खाने, डंडा खाने. विल एनीबडी गो वहां भी डंडा खाने के लिए? एंड यहीं रहकर बंधन का मोक्ष. So therefore we do not do any punya papa karma which gives us sukha dukkha, which again continues to bind us in samsara. We have to do only one thing, that sarva atma brahma ka anubhuti atma roop mein karna hai. Then only there is no going anywhere to be samsari, or being here also there is no more samsari. So whichever the deha we are given, if we are not become mukta in this deha, next life also we should try for that only. And why postpone for next life? Why not try this life only? See, when these thoughts become powerful, he becomes a very urgent mumukshu. Such one is the one who will have the parapara vairagya, kick the world, go to Guru and listen from him, Tattvamasi, and only that he goes on contemplating to discover Aham Brahmas. So from this paragraph, what is said, Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya is given to you. When you get the aparoksha anubhuti of that, samsara atyantika uparama happens. How we have to understand it? Other than sarva atma brahma anubhuti, there will be no end of your miseries called samsara wherever you go. Therefore, don't look at somebody from distance, seeing that he is having lot of money, he has got lot of talents, he has got a good power or position. Therefore, if I become that, I'll be happier. No, he will have his own problem again. So this problem will end, but other problem will rise up there. Therefore, we should not change the problem in life. We have to dissolve or end all the problems. All problems end in the Sarvatma Brahma Anubhuti. That is why Samsara Atyantika Uparamaha Abhavaha it is said. Now we have to be intelligent here. This deep contemplation is called as the genius seeker. Who contemplates? Ki should I want the permanent disappearance of all samsara or temporary? आपको सोचना है. देखो उस गहराई से सोचने में ही हमको समझ में आता है कि क्यों I should want the temporary result. I should want permanent only. Then immediately the temporary solution comes in samsara. Permanent is only in the Vedanta. Go for Vedanta. If I tell you intellectually, you will appreciate the thought, but it won't help you. Holding on to that thought, when we deeply contemplate in us with a question, what I should want. पहले तो मेरी बात है ना, मुझे बंध मोक्ष की चिंता होनी है. तो what should I think? I should think what I should want. क्या चाहिए होना चाहिए मुझे? What should I should desire? Should I desire for the temporary liberation or permanent? No, we have to have that fear. यार temporary तो liberation मिल ही जाएगा with fulfillment of this or that desire. But again I will be bound there. From there again I want to go somewhere or do something else or get something else. Again to get liberated from this bondage. But there I go, this bondage will not be there. But वहाँ का वो bondage बंधन हो जाएगा. You know, like a villager having lot of problem, village leaves it and comes to town. There are no village problems, but town has its own problem. From the town he goes to the capital or metro. Then capital metro में ये नहीं है, but वहाँ का problem है. From the metro he goes to Cosmo, and from there he goes to America. From there he go to Angaraka. And you go to America or Angaraka. Wherever you go, there you are. You are ignorant. You will suffer samsara. So if he is in the village only, inside if he discovers Brahma Tattva, he is liberated. From that we have to deeply think. एक ही क्वेश्चन, इसका जवाब अफर्मेटिवली मिल गया तो वी बिकम जेन्युइनली स्पिरिचुअल सीकर, नॉट अदरवाइज. व्हाट शुड आई वांट? द टेम्पररी संसार ब्रह्म और आत्यंतिक संसार अभाव. Temporary you will get through the worldly activities, because there the samsara for you means lack of this thing or that thing. So there are some process of karma or upasana by that those things can be gained. You do it and you get it. But that's not the end of it. Like, every day it's difficult for me to catch a bus and go to the office, so I need a car. So when you buy your own car, the bus का problem गया, but daily कार को बार करना, साफ करना, उसको डेंट होने से प्रोटेक्ट करना, पेट्रोल भरना, are they not added problems? Whether you are going through them or not, that's secondary. I'm just giving an example only to say that in the worldly affairs or at efforts, there's only shifting of problem, no end of problem. ये दुख जरूर जाएगा, वो और कुछ रहेगा वहाँ. Like you marry, the dukkha of being alone goes away. So then you become sukhi with another partner. But at the same time, the dukkha of managing that person, will it not continue? Like that, through example, try to understand that in anything of the worldly achievement, samsara will not permanently end. One problem will definitely end, but other will continue. But when we discover through Brahma Vidya, Aham Brahmasmi, in that there are no upadis, there is no upadi tadatmya jiva, therefore there is no limitation in him, therefore there is no samsara to begin. Then where is the continuation of samsara? For us, we are jiva, we have dehadi upadi, therefore we have samsara. And to remove this samsara, we are trying to do something else. From that, this samsara is going, but another is coming. Samsara is continuing. The type of samsara is changing. Samsara is struggle and misery. मेहनत करो दुखी हो जाओ. And everyone, when you look back in their 60, 70 years, इतना मैंने किया क्या मिला मुझे, that frustration is always there. That is why किमहगम साधुना करवम किमहगम पापम अकरवम iti will be the sentence toward the end of the same Valli. We will see it. So what discussion is going on the basis of Bhagavan Adi Shankara's explanation that Asmat Vijnanat Sarvatma Brahma Vishayat Samsarasya Atyantika Abhavaha Iti. Iti is a full stop. Means what? You can't improve upon this. You cannot change this statement of fact. You cannot make an alternative of it. Alternate. So this is how, from the Mula Mantra, when Bhagavan gives Bhashya, from the Bhashya, what we need, we should be able to cull out. What we need now is the conviction that only through Brahma Vidya, the samsara pura khatam ho jayega, not otherwise. Now this, if you tell others, they can't understand because they are so much in vasanas, they never studied Upanishads. We have studied from last 2-3 years, therefore our mind intellect is little prepared to analyze this and understand. Still there are strong vasanas there, therefore this understanding and analysis doesn't stay continuous. Again we go back to the worldliness. So trying to understand this Vedantic Vishaya is the Samadhi sadhana with Sattva. But again we forget and go back into the world of activity or indulgence. Therefore we are go back to the Kshipta and Muda Bhumika. Therefore we are now at the Vikshipta level. But continuously when we give more and more value to only this Vicharana and we get convinced that my only goal now is to, through Brahma Vidya, get out of samsara permanently, then we are coming to Ekagra Bhumi. In the Ekagra Bhumi, through the sadhanas told in the Yoga sadhana, when we do, we go to Samprajnata Samadhi. In the Vedanta, the meaning of that is what? Very clearly we have learned to be the Sakshi of the Upadis. What is Samprajnata Samadhi in the Yoga is called as becoming Sakshi to all the Upadis. There, the Samprajnata Samadhi, here is what is the nature of this Sakshi. This nature of the Sakshi is Satchidananda Brahma. So in this Upanishad, the beginning only starting with the Satchidananda Brahma only. Satyam Jnanavantam Brahma. पहले ही हमको रिवील कर, लाइक वहां भी दृष्टु स्वरूप अवस्थान हम पहले बताते हैं, यहाँ भी हो गया. Now first para is discussed, analyzed by us to our own satisfaction, but it has not yet become deep rooted knowledge because every individual have to repeatedly think about it. Like my job is over by speaking to you, but I should not think that my job is over for myself just by speaking to you. I have to enter into that. For myself, I have to contemplate till I come to the conclusion that the only thing I should do is through the Sarvatma Brahma Jnana, I have to remove my samsara. आत्यंतिक samsara भाव का मुझे दर्शन करना है. So too, by listening, your duty is not over. You have to think it 10 times till we come to the conviction That only through Sarvatma Brahma Vishaya Yukta Atma Jnana Ya Asmat Jnana only the Atyantika Samsara Abhava happens. Otherwise, you keep suffering on. Then again, we are adding one sentence just by seeing people comfortable at one particular time. Don't get tempted by, like a person is eating wonderfully in the hotel. You get tempted by that and you also order it. But after consequence, you don't know that when he goes home, how he suffers in the stomach. पता नहीं चलता अब. So too, the people with the drinks and all, they try to be enjoying. But when they go through that liver, kidney destruction, how much suffer, that is immediately not seen. But anybody who was addicted to non-positive things will definitely suffer, if not today, tomorrow. And the biggest of addiction is worldliness. Therefore, every worldly person will be suffering only with struggle. That's called samsara. Therefore, don't just look at the people and get carried away by their outward superficial appearances that they are laughing, giggling, therefore they must be happy. No. Only a Brahmagnani can be happy by logic, by authority of the Shastra. Nobody else. Everybody other than Ambarmasmi Anubhuta Mukta Purusha, all are in samsara. Whether they are in this place or that place, with this dress or that dress, no, with this money or that money, with this power or position or that power or position, everybody is in samsara, including Brahmadeva. Aur kya batao? Without Atma Jnana, even Brahmadeva is samsari. With an Atma Jnana, a person, a human, ordinary, a villager also is Mukta Purusha. Therefore, in the Mukta Purushas list, we can see so many people uneducated academically, not having any naukari, no any professional skills, no profession. Still they are Mukta. आत्मज्ञान के लिए ये सब जरूरत नहीं है, ये सब विघ्न है एक्चुअली. They are mukta. So let us be therefore, instead of aiming at something or the other seemingly better than this, working for it and praying for it to the Lord, we should now plan work only for becoming Adhyatmika Sadhaka intensely to discover the Sarvatma Brahma Atmanubhuti. This change, if doesn't happen, then we have not sufficiently heard. Little more we have to listen. Some more we have to listen, and we have to go on listening only. Left to ourselves, we don't study. The continuous having those thoughts, that much of information is not there with us. Therefore, for you and me, ये पूरा जिंदगी मुझे बोलना ही पड़ेगा, आपको सुनना ही पड़ेगा. Through this process, we are reminded of Brahman. At least it is there. By God's Guru's grace, when you start contemplating, in the contemplation, the Brahmajnana alone is mukti giver, the other thing is samsara. With this conviction comes, then even this Shravanam and Upasana, Pravachanam, this also is dropped by both of us. Then we go in our deep contemplation. And how to contemplate is the entire theme of this second one. This is one thing we discussed. Now, second, Bhagavan Shankara says, Swayam eva aha prayojanam. So, what is the Brahma Vidya Vishayam? What is this Brahmananda Valli Vishayam? Brahma Vidya. And what is the prayojanam? Brahma avida apnoti param iti. Half prayojanam Bhagavan Shankara said in his Bhashyam. That was not said by this Shruti Mata. Because not only the Parama Ananda Prapti we need, but before that, Atyantika Samsara or Dukkha Nivrutti also. So he commented in the first para, before taking of the mantra, that Vaya Brahma Vidya removes Avidya, Avidya से ही संसार हुआ, इसलिए संसार का भी आत्यंतिक अभाव होता है. Therefore, the first result to be achieved is the removal of the आत्यंतिक samsara dukkha that he give. That is the beauty of Bhashyakar. अदरवाइज व्हाट विल हैपन, सुख तो मिलेगा बट उसके साथ दुख भी रहेगा क्या? अगर है तो दैट इज व्हाट इज samsara, because in our samsara we are getting both of them. Then what is the difference between samsaric activities and Brahma Vidya pursuit? Is it not? Brahma Vidya pursuit should give the param, positive side. But the other side, it should also remove the samsara permanently. So that he explained. When you have the Brahma Vidya, Avidya goes. From Avidya only the samsara was there. Therefore, the samsara also goes away. Therefore, Atyatika samsara, nivrutti or abhava is achieved. The negative result means the removal of the dukkha wala achieved. But the obtaining of the ananda also has to be achieved. No, for that he is using the Shruti Mata, which started with this quotation of Param. So, Phala Shruti ke suru kar rahe yahan. Is it not? How nice. Phala itself is said in the beginning. I am telling you something by which you get 1 crore rupees. Immediately we get interested. I say, फिर बोलो. Each one has his own way of publicity. Some tell the phala in the beginning, then explain the process. Some explain the process, while doing so, create such a curiosity, inquisitiveness in the listener. And after going through all process, the listener with the curiosity will have a question. Then what are you going to get out of all that? Though the process appears to be interesting, he says, Maharaj, I am not telling you just like that. When you follow this process, what you are going to get is this big thing. Is it so? Then I will definitely follow. In this case, you will get the supreme. Acha, so then tell me all the process. In the other case, the process is told. Finally, the result of it is so glorious thing, it is revealed. Immediately he says, then I will follow it. So here, the first process followed up, giving the Phalashruti in the beginning only. So that you are kept inspired. Even in Vedanta Brahma Vidya, without the Phala in the Mana, nobody will start sadhana. In the sadhana, when you go on going ahead, then we will know there is nothing to be expected in spirituality. In spirituality, everything is to be given up, then only discover yourself. वो बाद में पता चलेगा in the maturity. But in the beginning, we should be told, यार, whatever is supreme in the world, you will get that when you do the spirituality. ऐसा ही क्या? सबसे बड़ा वाला मिलेगा? चल मैं करता हूँ. Interesting. So, Swayam cha vakshati, Swayam eva aha prayojanam. Swayam aha, who said Swayam? Shruti Mata, Swayam eva aha prayojanam. Shruti herself is saying the prayojanam aap, the Sarvatma Brahma Vishaya Jnana. What is the prayojana of this? Sarva Atma मैं रूपी ब्रह्म ही हूँ. इस ज्ञान का क्या प्रयोजन है? प्रयोजन माह. What is that? ब्रह्मविद आपनोति परम इति. Brahmavid apnoti param. The knower of Brahman attains supreme. Param, what is that param? It is not explained. Brahma, it is not explained. Brahmavid, not explained. It will be explained in the next one. Like in Yoga Sutra also we are doing. We have not come to the second sutra, but in the first sutra only, what is the yoga? It is chitta, it is chittaka. Yoga is samadhi, samadhi, chitta is dharma. Chitta by nature is always in samadhi because of its nature being sattva but it is corrupted by the rajas tamas. Therefore, all the problems crop up of these the bhumikas. How the Bhashyakara there Vyasa and Sutrakara were explaining here also. Here, the Sutra Brahmavida Apnoti Param. Here also the Sutra. So that is Phalashruti. Therefore, Bhagavan Bhashyakara starts his Bhashya with telling us what is said by the Shruti. Ki Swayameva aha prayojanam. What is what? Brahmavid apnoti param iti. Adav eva. In the beginning only. Why? Sambandha prayojana jnapanartham. To make us realize the sambandha and prayojana. Sambandha is bodhya bodhaka sambandha. So, Brahma Vidya Bodha, the Shastra or Guru does, and we are the Bodhaka, we receive that knowledge. Okay? Vidya Pradatrutvam, Vidya Prapti. Shruti Mata and Guru, what are they doing? Vidya Pradhanam, giving of Vidya. What are we doing? We are receiving it. So, giving, receiving the Vidya, or giving teaching, receiving teaching. This is called as the Sambandha. It's called as Vidya Pradhana, Vidya Swikarana Sambandham or Bodhya Bodhaka Sambandham. But that's also important, but more important, what is the Prayojanam? Prayojanam is Paramapnoti. Supreme you get, and it's a beautiful word. Supreme you get, there's nothing beyond that. Ultimate you get, Param you apnoti. Other than that, everything is aparam only, lower than that only, avaram only. So, now, why we in the beginning only Brahma, Brahmavitu, Brahmavid apnoti param, the Phalashruti, the Shruti Mata told, because one of the techniques. For what? कि निर्ज्ञातयोः संबंध प्रयोजनयोः. Yesterday we were coming up to this point. Only nirjnata means nirnaya purvaka jnanam, nishchaya purvaka jnanam. Only when we doubtlessly, convincingly know about the sambandha and prayojana. Sambandha is what? I should be the bodhita, the guru and shastra should be bodhaka. When I maintain this sambandha, what is the prayojana? Paramapnoti. सो परम आपनोति रूपी प्रयोजन के लिए मैं बोधिता बनना है, गुरु को बोधक बनाना है, और गुरु इस विद्या का बोध मुझे कराते हैं. When these two are convincingly known, what is the meaning of that? When I go to the layman's language में, when I go to the guru as a seeker, bodhita, and get the sort or the bodha from the guru, the bodhaka, in that sambandha when I am there, I am going to the Guru, Sambandha. For what? To get the Bodha from him. At that time, what is he? Bodhaka. Who am I? Bodhita. So I, the Bodhita, from the Bodhaka, getting the Bodha. It is called Sambandha. Establish करना है. But इसका प्रयोजन क्या है? अरे परम आपनोति. When you get that Bodha from the Guru as a Bodhita, from the Bodhaka, you get the Param. So he says, Nirgnatayohi Sambandha Prayojanayoho. Only when one is firmly clear in his intellectual understanding about the prayojana, and prayojana is led by the sambandha, that one is interested in involving in these four things, which are very essential for this further study of the Upanishad. तो उपनिषद में आगे जो पढ़ा रहे हैं, उसको पढ़ने के लिए जो इंटरेस्ट चाहिए, वो इंटरेस्ट जन्म कराने के लिए हमें इस उपनिषद में जो विषय बताया वो भी पता होना है, संबंध बताया वो भी बताना है, प्रयोजन भी पता होना है. विषय इज ब्रह्म विद्या, संबंध इज बौद्ध बोधक, प्रयोजन इज परम प्राप्ति. Then only we will involve in it. This is how every shastra tells the Anubandha Chatushtaya in the beginning. Adhikari, Vishaya, Prayojana, Sambandha. We are already Adhikari because we are Mumukshus. The Vishaya is Brahma Vidya, Sambandha is Bodhi Bodhaka, Prayojana is Param Prapti. So, Nirgnatayohi Sambandha Prayojanayoho. Only when the Sambandha Prayojana is very clearly convinced by the person, you and me, seekers, then only these four things we do, which are very essential for the Phala Prapti of the Param Prapti. What is the Phala? Param. The Parama रूपी फल प्राप्ति के लिए ये जो चारों करनी है, तभी हम कर पाते हैं जब हम कन्विंस्ड होते हैं क्या फल मिलेगा और उसके लिए क्या संबंध रखना है. So through Bodhi Bodhaka Sambandha, I am going to get Parama. Therefore, I will maintain the Bodhi Bodhaka Sambandha. In that, Guru will do the Bodha to me. While I receive the Bodha from him, these are the four things. What are they? Vidya Shravana, Vidya Grahana, Vidya Dharana, Vidya Abhyasa. Artham Pravartate. Artha means for this thing, Pravartate is one involves. In every case also, मुझे क्या मिलेगा? That's the first question. When you go to interview, the person is very anxious, the interviewing person. If this fellow is qualified or not, should I take him or not? If I take him, will he work for my company or not? Because of him, my company will grow or will fall. His worry is that. On the basis of that only he questions. And the fellow who came for interview, his point is what? Will they give me salary or not? Proper salary or not? Will it be sufficient or not? His desire is only about the phala. If the interview concludes without telling the package, his mind will be very disturbed. That's why they keep the topic at the end. Then he asks, what are you expecting? Then that in some places they only say that this much we will give, not more than. It is acceptable. Okay, yes, sir, I'll think and tell you. Or other case, he gives the opportunity. Batao beta, tumko kya chahiye? Then he says, sir, this is my work worth. Earlier I was paid this much that way, but that was not correct or sufficient, so I expect this much from you. In some places, to avoid confusion, पहले ही बता देते हैं कि when you are qualified, this is the package given. But everybody's drushti is on the package. Especially the one who is seeking. So we are seeking, what is the package? Param. What you have to do? You have to have the sambandha. What sambandha? Bodhi bodhaka. How do you continue this sambandha, bodhi bodhaka? For getting the ashrita phala. To get the desired fala of param prapti, how you have to fulfill this bodhi bodhaka sambandha? Guru is giving the vidya, vidya have to do the shravana, you have to do the grahana, you have to do the dharana, vidya have to do the abhyasa. This is the most important topic. This we need to discuss little, maybe 10-15 minutes. Tomorrow we do that. So he says, Nirnyatayo hi sambandha prayajanayo vidya shravana, vidya grahana, vidya dharana, vidya abhyasartham sadhaka pravartate. And why these all have to be done? Shravana, grahana, dharana and the abhyasa. Because shravanadi purvakam hi vidya phalam. Because the phala of the vidya called a param prapti moksha comes only when we do all these shravanadi. अरे कहाँ बताया वो? अरे आई एम टेलिंग यू द बृहदारण्यक उपनिषद कोटेशन. श्रोतव्यो, आत्मा वारे द्रष्टव्यः. This is how the Maitri Yajnavalkya tells his wife Maitri. She says how to do so, how to have the experience. Drashtavya means experiencing. Acha, you want to know how to do? Shrotavyo, mantavyo, nididhyasatavyaha. So atmanah shravanenena mananena nididhyasnena atma prapti bhavati moksha bhavati. That's how he gives us a meaning there. Atma vare drashtavyaha. You have to see your own self for moksha. प्रोसेस क्या है? श्रोतव्यो मंतव्यो निधिध्यासितव्य. तो श्रवण मनन ध्यान. Here Shravana, Grahana, Dharana and Abhyasa. So we are quoting that mantra. So we are telling you, you have to do the Shravana, Grahana, Dharana and Abhyasa. What are each one of them? We will see it tomorrow. Thereafter, Bhagavan Shankara takes up explaining each word Brahma, Vittu, Apnoti, Param. Then while he is explaining that apnoti word is highly objected by the Purva Paksh. His point is you can get something which is not gained. Now you told so far the Brahma is all pervading. In you everywhere, nook and corner. Then how can you get it? Now this discussion I tell you, if you are available to listen, if you can bring that concentrated mind with Shraddha to listen, you will enjoy it so thoroughly. The listening itself and the understanding when it enters inside, you have taken lot of leaps in a spirituality, because all finally depends on understanding only. Understanding and abiding in the understanding to experience. That topic we are going to study tomorrow. The Purva Pakshi's discussion will be very, very interesting. Thereafter, then the Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is the Lakshana of the Brahma Tattva that will be told and explained. For many paragraphs, Bhagavan Shankara tries to make us understand what the meaning of Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Just like in Yoga Darshanam also, how the Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha or Atha Yoga Anushasana, Bhashyakara tried to explain. Vyas Bhagavan. Then on that, lot of Vartikas, though we did not study them. Anyway, we have to feel so lucky that simultaneously the Brahma Vidya we are given, next to that Vidya knowledge by which we become qualified through maintaining our Antakarana Vritti we are studying. In the evening, one side we are Bhagavatam, the highest, again the Ramayana. What a great days we are going through. If we are really true and sincere in our intellect without any ego or biasness, if you observe it and continue getting the benefit out of it. What is it? Let's see tomorrow. Om, 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādāya Purnamevāvashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramarashibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shruti Matre Namaha. Om Sri Vedavyasa Vaishambhani Yajnavalkya Adi Shankaradi Gurubhyo Namaha Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you, friends.